My name is Wendy Alaffe, and I am currently living in Bridgewater, Nova Scotia, on the South Shore, and loving it. We retired here about 2 years ago. I went to work in St. Andrews, New Brunswick, and met my first husband there. We married quite quickly, and I was with him for about 8 years, and it was an abusive situation. It wasn't physical, and I wouldn't have called it abuse, but later on I recognized that it was. He mentally abused me, meaning he called me down, nothing I could do was right, I would be nothing without him, just constant, just wearing down. And I tried to leave a few times, but in my head it was, what would I do? I can't survive without him. So thanks to a very good friend there, I was able to make the split. And she told me, I want you to write down all the reasons why you were leaving. Put it in your purse, and every time you think about going back, you bring out that list, and it'll remind you of why you left. So I lived in Halifax about 4 years before I met my current husband, Dana, and we've been married almost 32 years. He's an amazing man. He's put up with so much for me, from me. And when I say so much, I have and always had, I think, since I was a teenager, depression. And back then they used to call me moody, but, and it was severe. I was hospitalized when I was out in BC for about 6 weeks. And I just wasn't myself. You know, I would say things and do things, and things I regret now. And I really have to work at not going back and feeling guilt about that. He's still with me, and I love him for it. Most men would have left. And we're doing well. Retirement is difficult. He likes to stay in the house. He's a hibernator kind of thing. And I have to get out. I have to get out at least once a day. So I've seen myself in Moncton shoveling snow so I could at least get out of the driveway. But we live with it. And so I wanted them to understand. When I had my breakdown, it was just after my second daughter was born. And I don't remember a lot of her, probably first year, maybe even 2 years of her growing up. I remember bits and pieces, but my memory is just not there. So they understand it. They both now have degrees in psychology. My oldest has a certificate in addictions. My youngest wants to get her doctorate to work with eating disorders. I've had eating disorders through my lifetime, and I struggle now because of it. I've ruined my metabolism and things like that. So now I struggle because I have extra weight on me, and it's very, very difficult to lose because I messed up my system. The one thing I do tell my girls, or told them, is alcoholism runs in the family. And you don't know you're an alcoholic until you take your first drink. That's all the advice I could give them. It was up to them to decide, because that's the other thing Dana had to put up with. He doesn't drink at all. And I drank and I drank and I drank and I drank. And I gave up drinking I went to AA, and it was shortly after that I had my breakdown, because I think I had to actually feel. I had to feel emotions and deal with them. Oh, but the girls understand now. I'm currently writing a journal for them. Okay. Said I wasn't going to cry. I want them to know. I mean, they know I love them, but I want them to know why certain things happened, and that I'm sorry for certain things, and I would like them to have I don't know, just something from me. I still have the disease of depression, and I take medication. And what helped me became a Christian, started going to church, and I realized that all these, they talk about voices in your head. I had voices in my head. I wasn't schizophrenic or whatever. These voices would say, you're no good, nobody loves you, you can't do anything right, and we know where that stems from. But I learned to control those, and I literally speak out loud now and say, you're wrong. I can do things right. And with God's help. Like I always, and a lot of us do, question, why am I here? What's the purpose? Why am I here? And I used to pray to God to take me. Just, I can't handle it anymore. Just take me. And I'm so thankful now that He didn't, because I survived. And yeah, I have down times, but I survived, and I can deal with it now. And one of the questions I had is, why am I here, God? And at the time I had a daily devotional, and I would read it every night before I went to bed. So one night I read it, put it down, turned the lights off, started to go to sleep, and my eyes opened, and I thought, what? I picked up the book again, and that devotional for that day told me why I'm here. I'm here to please God, to worship God, and to thank God for my life. And I no longer need a reason. And as people say, it doesn't have to be God. If it's, some people say the universe or whatever. Yeah. For me, God worked. I said, God's going to help me through this. And God did. I've never looked back, never had a drink. And it's been 25 years. So I try to help other people. My biggest thing is, you've got to go. You've got to find someone. You've got to, number one, recognize that this is not your fault. It's nothing, whatever. It's in your body. It's chemical. Go and find help, whether it's to get on medication or just to talk to somebody, get advice on how to deal with the situations you're dealing with. My biggest thing is, don't go off your medication just because, I'm feeling better now, so I'll stop taking my medication. And then you fall lower. But talking, don't hold it in. Don't keep it to yourself. And I'm not afraid to tell people at all that I have this disease, and I don't feel sorry for myself anymore. And I search for positive things that I can do myself. And you can research, you can see what groups are out there that you could attend. By all means, you have to seek the medical community, because sometimes there's just nothing you can do. And I firmly believe in medication. You don't have to stay on it for the rest of your life. But if you just can't get through it, if you're at the state where you just can't function and it affects you, everybody around you, your work, whatever, something needs to be done. Only you can make it happen. My business, yeah. I am excited about my business because, like I said, I started it last year, never thinking that I would do it. I have been creative all my life. It's my happy place. I go in there, and now I'm painting and incorporating driftwood and some, shall we say, garbage from the beach into my paintings. And I now firmly believe that they are worth selling. Nice. I have confidence in my abilities now. And I guess that says it all. And that's a big thing for me with, no self-confidence or whatever. So I am thoroughly enjoying it.